Thanksgiving meals on their tables, at the same time helping the United Way of Indiana County to raise vital funding. And so that'll be happening between 7 and 10 a.m. tomorrow here on Indiana in the Morning. For now, though, it is the Conservative Energy Network, and there is our phone call from the gentleman who we're expecting to join, Justin Mason and Jim Gregory, on the line with us here this morning. So let me get us rolling here for this segment here on Indiana in the Morning, our visit with the Conservative Energy Network, presented by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm, best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you both with us here today. Justin, who do we have on the line?
Sir, we have Mr. Aaron Nichols, the Research and Policy Specialist for Exact Solar. Honored to have him on the line with us this morning, as he is the podcast host of This Week in Solar here on Energy Matters Let's Talk, sponsored by Sunny Fields.
There you go. Absolutely. Hey, very nicely done there.
Learning from
that
the
part
best.
in there. He realized that I forgot to play that part, so I could do that now. But hey, instead I want to get right out and talk with Aaron Nichols this morning. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going wonderfully, except for I forgot to play the intro. So other than that...
Well, we know it's by Sunny Fields.
Other than that, well, yeah, it's not exactly a sunny day here in Indiana, PA, but that's okay. We're talking solar energy and Exact Solars. What is Exact Solars?
So Exact Solar is an EPC, which stands for Engineering, Procurement, and Construction. So we find our own solar jobs, we sell them, we design them, and we install them all the way through.
And in Pennsylvania only, or are you a little bit more broad than that?
We have served Southeast PA and New Jersey for the last 20 years. We were founded in 2005 by a husband and wife team, and they sold the company in 2021, and we've just been expanding ever since.
Tell me about Exact Solar and what your goal is, particularly for rural areas, because we're rural here.
Absolutely. We are very excited to work with more farmers. We have seen a lot of potential in agrivoltaics, and I've been lucky enough to visit the Agrivoltaics Learning Center in Colorado and see the incredible potential that it has with grazing and crop rotation under panels using different shade zones to grow different types of crops. But we have worked in a more urban and suburban area for the last 20 years, but as we've expanded further and further west, we've just started working in much bigger townships, doing more ground mount systems, and we're excited to work in more rural areas. We're planning to expand further west in PA in 2026.
Hey, go back and explain to folks what agrivoltaics is.
Absolutely. So agrivoltaics is a smashing together of two words, agriculture and photovoltaics. Photovoltaics is the term for solar energy. Solar energy creating electricity specifically. And there's a place in Colorado called the Agrivoltaics Learning Center, started by a man named Byron Komanek. I don't know if he came up with the term agrivoltaics, but he's one of the ones who's made it famous. And he has proven through several research partnerships that you can put solar on farmland and still use it to farm. Some people think that once you put solar on farmland, you can't use it for anything else. That's absolutely not true. If you design the system in a intelligent way, you can graze livestock under it, you can rotate crops, you can even grow crops under the panels that don't do well in full sunlight. And he grows all sorts of herbs and things to make essential oils under his panels, the more delicate crops, since the Colorado sun is very punishing, and then he can grow more native plants out in the sun.
Well, it sounds like a natural then as you expand into western Pennsylvania more and more, because this is so rural in this half of the state, that would seem like a natural fit.
Absolutely. And we just love working with farmers. We've worked with a lot of farmers in more eastern PA, and there's just so many different ways that you can implement solar onto a property when you have a decent amount of space. And so we're excited to continue to expand westward, where there's a little more space to build and have a little more space to play around.
Aaron Nichols with us from Exact Solar as we talk here on our Conservative Energy Network spot. Aaron, in Pennsylvania, are there impediments to your expanding into rural areas? Are there legislative solutions that need to be sought, or is it smooth sailing?
At the moment, there's not impediments for us specifically, other than the tax credits being phased out. But that, I think, is a pretty surmountable obstacle, knowing that energy prices are just going to continue to go up and up. And solar is a great economic solution for anyone looking to save money on power.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what do folks need to know to learn more about what you do and how you can help?
You can just go to exactsolar.com. We have a lot of content on there that we've created, videos, podcasts, and blog articles that just will walk you through what we do and how we can help you. For anyone who's a farmer or a business owner, you can go to our commercial solar tab at exactsolar.com. And if you are a homeowner, just go to our residential tab. Both of those will walk you through and show you how we can help you.
All right, sounds terrific. Let's bring Justin Mason and Jim Gregory on to add to our conversation this morning. Gentlemen?
Hey, Aaron, what you talked about when it comes to agrivoltaics, and I'll remind Todd, we had Daniel Dotterer on the show one of our earlier months, really one of the kings of information when it comes to agrivoltaics in the country, and he resides in Center County. We just came out of the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau conference this week, and the amount of discussion that farmers are having when it comes to energy and being able to sustain their farms, and legacy farms that are 180 years old, talking to a farmer trying to figure out, what can I do to keep this in my family when my younger folks don't want to continue, but I want to retire? How can I continue to run my farm when my energy costs keep going up? The community in rural Pennsylvania is starting to realize that this is a bipartisan issue. And for Aaron, I would also add that when it comes to impediments to energy in Pennsylvania, that siting reform is an absolute. It is a bipartisan issue, and politically, everybody is going to need to get on board with realizing what we need to do with siting reform and being able to also make these decisions about projects being located where they decide to be located. Of course, always near transmission lines, but that issue is something that from the governor's office into the legislature is top of mind because of the rising costs of energy in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Aaron, sounds like solar can be a real solution to folks who are in danger of losing their farms.
It absolutely can. It can add another income stream for farmers who are just have. Sorry, it's another way to use land, and it's another way to generate money from land. And Jim is absolutely right. Siting reform is a problem all across the country. There's just too much red tape, and there's too much power consolidated in smaller places, and the rules can vary from state to state, from county to county. We just need a more streamlined process for how we can bring these projects home.
Yeah. Justin?
Yes, sir. So, Aaron, perhaps maybe you could talk about Exact Solar's willingness to work with agrivoltaics, because we've seen other EPCs not so eager to want to incorporate agrivoltaics. And I personally feel the importance of agrivoltaics needing to be on-farm application here in Pennsylvania for not only farm function and maintaining the overall aesthetic of farm function with solar, but as well with Pennsylvania being formerly the #1 place for sheep farming in the nation and world here out of Greene County. But I see other EPCs don't want to allow for Ag-V. I want to herald Exact for that, but perhaps you could speak to that briefly as to why you're seeking to do agrivoltaics where other EPCs are not as willing to incorporate such methods of maintenance.
It's just such a wonderful way to use land, and we think we have a responsibility there. Of course, it can be challenging, but I think it's so much better to build something that's going to be dual use than it is to just reserve a field only for solar and then not have the farmer be able to use it for anything else. It's such a beautiful solution to the issue. And one of the things people always push back on when we're talking about putting solar on farmland is that we're going to run out of farmland. Agrivoltaics is a perfect dual-use solution. And to us, it just seems like the right way to do things. We're also just a small Pennsylvania locally owned company. And so we want to work with people the best that we can. And if that means that they think that's the best use of their land, then we're going to find a way to get that project across the finish line in a way that works for them.
In addition, Todd, how many times have we seen encouragements to farm families to diversify? Open up a bike shop, open up a welding shop. How about a chicken coop? Open up a store. All these different ways, because when your industry relies on the weather, as ours does, farmers need to be able to diversify for those years so that they can continue to farm the way they want to farm. And so this is just another example of telling a farmer how to look at diversifying when it comes to how they power their farm.
Absolutely. And Aaron, of course, here in Western Pennsylvania, and here in Indiana County, in fact, I can think of a couple of businesses that have opened up on farms. One is a store, as Jim was just mentioning. But those seem to be just logical offshoots of what solar energy can do.
Absolutely. And solar is something that's perfect for a big open field. And if anyone is worried about running out of land for their farming and for, making the money that they need to make with their land, agrivoltaics is an incredible solution.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, it's good to have you all with us here today. Aaron on the phone, Jim and Justin here in the studio with us. We're running out of time today, and I could just play that intro if you wanted to. But our thanks to Sunny Fields for helping make this possible.
Todd, I just want to also thank the Indiana County Sustainability Summit that took place here a few weeks ago. We were glad to be a part of that, and we congratulate the county on their efforts to recognize the importance of energy.
It's good stuff. It is good stuff all around. Aaron, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And gentlemen as well, Justin, Jim, we appreciate you.
See you next month.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Fox News next, top of the hour, and then we follow with a brief look at news from the WCCS newsroom with Josh, and then it is the Brian Kilmeade Show. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.
At the Shoemaker Family Services, we offer something called a hospice 6-month guarantee. Without any financial commitment or payment whatsoever by the client, it is our policy that for individuals under hospice care, we offer a special price guarantee quote honored for 6 months. This includes our charges, merchandise, and cash advance items. So, if for any reason during those 6 months while on hospice, our funeral home prices would increase, that raise in charges would not be passed on to you. Just another reason why the Shoemaker and Robinson Lytle Shoemaker Funeral Home is the firm for you.
For the 5th consecutive year, Renda Media and Renda Digital TV will present live coverage of the Tree Lighting and Wonderful Life Holiday Parade on Friday, November 21st. From downtown Indiana, presented by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking. Our live video stream starts with the tree lighting at 6:30 on Facebook, followed by the parade at 7 on Renda Digital TV YouTube. Presented by Renda Media and S&T Bank, People Forward Banking. With special thanks to Grand Beginnings Children's Center, Meckling Insurance Agency, EMB Computing, Integrated Power Services, and Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning.
Want to give back to the game you love? Become a PIAA official. Indiana County's baseball, basketball, football, softball, track and field, and volleyball officials chapters invite you to an officials recruitment night on Thursday, November 20th at Primanti Brothers from 7 to 8 p.m. Hors d'oeuvres and soft drinks are free. Learn how you can support student athletes, ensure fairness, and stay connected to the sports you love, all while earning extra income and making lifelong friendship. Be a role model. Be an official.
WCCS, Homer City, Indiana. This is the voice of Indiana County.
WCCS.
It took a while,
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. But we finally got the September jobs report this morning, delayed well over a month by the government shutdown. Fox's Jenny Casola reports it came in way better than expected, sending the Dow surging up over 500 points on Wall Street.
There were 119,000 new jobs created, more than double the 50,000 expected. The unemployment rate rose to 4.4%. There won't be a separate October employment report released because there wasn't sufficient data collected during the government shutdown. It will be part of the November report on December 16th.
Now, the August jobs numbers were revised, so instead of a gain of 22,000, 4,000 jobs were lost that month, and a lot more jobs are going away. At Verizon, the company plans to lay off 13,000 workers. President Trump is angry at some Democrats in Congress over a video they posted opposing the U.S. military operation off the South American coast that's blown up suspected drug trafficking boats, killing dozens of alleged narco-terrorists.
This is a half dozen congressional Democrats, and they've posted this video telling members of the military and intelligence services that it's their duty to defy what they're calling illegal orders. Now, these Democrats are all veterans themselves of the intelligence services or the military, and they say it is a duty to refuse orders that violate the Constitution.
That's Fox's Rich Edson at the White House, and reacting to that on Truth Social a short time ago, President Trump called those Democrats traitors, and that each one should be arrested and put on trial, and that their words cannot be allowed to stand, adding an example must be set. Last night, the president signed the resolution Congress passed to compel the Justice Department to release more files from the Epstein underage girls' sex trafficking scheme.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, meantime, and her Justice Department have 30 days now to comply, although some documents may be redacted and others may be withheld, citing ongoing investigations.
That's Fox's Doug Luzader. Congress passed that resolution almost unanimously. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Emily Campagno, and I'm taking you inside the Idaho murders. In Moscow, Idaho, a small college town, one case so violent and heartbreaking shocked the nation. 4 students were found brutally murdered in their off-campus home, prompting a cross-country search for the cold-blooded killer. The Fox True Crime Podcast presents Inside the Idaho Murders. The evidence, the manhunt, the killer, and the victims.
Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com. Every weekday, it's your go-to source for staying informed and entertained. The Fox News Primetime Highlights Podcast, offering a curated selection of the most impactful moments of the Ingram Angle, Jesse Waters Primetime, Hannity, and Gutfeld. Listen and follow now so you never miss a moment of the action-packed highlights from these must-watch Fox News Channel shows. Go to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Josh Whittison reporting. Indiana County District Attorney Robert Manzi has ruled that state police were justified in the fatal shooting of Jonathan Pierce in Deckers Point in October. State police have charged a Katanning man with sexually assaulting a child over several years in Armstrong County. A Cherry Tree teenager is due in district court today for a preliminary hearing on charges related to child pornography. At a meeting yesterday, the White Township supervisors approved the preliminary budget for 2026. The current spending plan is around $9.5 million. Expenditures top out at $10.9 million. That township budget also entails 2 fee increases, one for recycling, the other for stormwater maintenance. And the KCAC is playing host to the Pennsylvania Mountains Rural Health Conference, which is going on throughout the day today. In sports, Aaron Rodgers wants to test his non-throwing hand at practice today. That left hand has a fracture in the wrist. And the IUP women beat Ashland last night. AccuWeather forecast, mostly cloudy, a high of 45 today. Cloudy tonight, a low of 39. Occasional rain and drizzle on Friday, a high of 50. Up next, the Brian Kilmeade Show, portions of which are pre-recorded. From the WCCS Newsroom, I'm Josh Whittison.
Planning ahead shows how much you care. At the Leftall Funeral Home, they understand that making funeral arrangements in advance can ease the emotional and financial burden on your loved ones during difficult times. Since 1999, the John A. Leftall Funeral Home has been Indiana County's premier choice for funeral services, and pre-planning makes it easier on everyone. The compassionate team at the Leftall Funeral Home will help you make informed decisions, ensuring your funeral wishes are honored exactly as you had envisioned them. To learn more, call the Leftall Funeral Home today at 724-463-4499. That's 724-463-4499. Or visit them online at leftallfuneralhome.com to learn how simple pre-planning can give your family the gift of peace of mind. The John A. Leftall Funeral Home, for over 25 years, serving Indiana County with dignity, compassion, and excellence.
Did you know 22 Americans die each day waiting for organ transplants, most of them for kidneys? The good news is that MatchingDonors.com is helping to change that. MatchingDonors.com is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that links organ donors with people in desperate need of kidneys and other transplants. And now you don't need to donate a kidney to save a life. You can donate your boat, car, or real estate, with 100% of the proceeds going to help save the lives of people needing organ transplants. Visit MatchingDonors.com or call 800-385-0422.
101.1 and AM 1160 WCCS and at WCCSradio.com.
From high atop Fox News headquarters in New York City, the most approachable radio host in America. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Hi, everyone. So glad you're there. It's the Brian Kilmeade Show. We've got a big hour coming your way. I think that within this hour, we're going to have the mayor-elect of New York City. Every time he talks, it's interesting because he's a flat-out socialist, doesn't like democracy, doesn't really like capitalism. We'll find out where he stands because tomorrow he's going to meet with the president. Senator Tommy Tuberville is standing by. Neil Chatterjee is going to be with us, too. Chief of Government Affairs at Palmetto, former chairman of Federal Energy Regulation Commission under President Trump, senior advisor to Mitch McConnell. So let's get to the big three.
Number 3. I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information. You get information from people where you can. I've interviewed narcotics, drug traffickers, and others, and that doesn't mean that I'm their friend.
That is Stacey Plaskett. What a joke. Getting text messages from Jeffrey Epstein, a person relationship, they have cell phone numbers, but she's a prosecutor? Dumb. Boomerang. The Epstein files begin to leak out, and it's the Dems that are front and center. Why I think more than just disgraced Harvard and Obama and Clinton official, Larry Summers is just the first lefty to pay the price.
Number 2.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
So that's Mark Kelly, Alyssa Slotkin, Jason Crow doing something I think is borderline treasonous. The Democratic vets show their radical side by putting a message out to the military that, in my view, borders on treason and also looks for them just to, I guess, turn against Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. The blowback is just beginning.
Number 1.
We did reach out to the White House, and my team reached out because of a commitment that I made to New Yorkers, that I would be willing to meet with anyone and everyone so long as it was to the benefit of the 8.5 million people who call the city home and their struggle to afford the most expensive city in the United States of America.
Yeah, Mayor Mamdani, elect, I should say. Guess who's coming to lunch? Mamdani coming to visit President Trump at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Let's see if this odd couple can last 3 seasons. Let's bring in Senator Tommy Tuberville, now Armed Services Committee, and who's likely to be the next governor of Alabama. Senator, welcome back.
Morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing great because some good news. They thought 50,000 jobs in September.